Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to ARIRANG News Break, live from Seoul. I'm Han-Daeun. We start with the president's tour of East Africa, now into its final leg. President Park Geun-hye has arrived in Kenya, the biggest economy in the region. She will hold summit talks with her Kenyan counterpart in just about 2 hours. But before that, our Mususan reports on what we can expect from the visit.
Kenya, the largest economy in East Africa, is also Korea's biggest trading partner in the region. The transportation and economic hub also functions as a gateway to enter the entire continent, as well as the European and the American markets. Kenya is vying to emerge as a new industrial nation with its Vision 2030 for growth, and President Park's visit to Nairobi will be focused on laying a foundation for Korean businesses to enter East Africa. In exchange, Korea will share its knowledge in the e-government, ICT and health sectors. And President Park will also ask for Nairobi's cooperation in implementing the UN sanctions on North Korea, with the hope that it will encourage other African nations to follow suit.
The two sides will discuss ways to enhance economic and development cooperation, anti-corruption initiative, anti-terrorism, and also touch upon regional issues, including North Korea's nuclear issue.
President Park has a full day ahead with a summit followed by a business forum and a culture event. She'll also check how the Korea Aid Development Program will run in Kenya and stop by the UN office here in Nairobi, which is the United Nations headquarters in Africa. 송지선, ARIRANG News, Nairobi.
North Korea once again failed in its attempt to fire off a Mususan ballistic missile today, the latest of 4 failed launches in under 2 months. The provocative act comes amid heaviest yet international sanctions imposed on the regime. Kwon Jang-ho has the details.
At 5:20 a.m. South Korea time, North Korea launched a mid-range Mususan ballistic missile from its missile testing site in Wonsan on the eastern coast of the peninsula. Seoul's defense ministry later confirmed the launch failed, and although an investigation of the specifics is ongoing, its initial findings suggest the missile exploded on takeoff, possibly injuring personnel near the launch site. It's the latest in a series of embarrassing failures for Kim Jong-un's regime. On April 15th, the first ever launch of a Mususan missile exploded in mid-air, and 2 weeks later, 2 more missiles were launched on the same day, with both also ending in failure. The Mususan has a theoretical range of 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers, which would make it capable of reaching all of Japan and as far as the US territory of Guam. It's also thought to be capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. The South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff said it's on alert for any signs of additional missile tests and is prepared for any future provocations. Kwon Jang-ho, ARIRANG News.
Financially troubled Hyundai Merchant Marine has reached an agreement to recast roughly $200 million of its debt. The ailing shipbuilder's bondholders on Tuesday unanimously agreed to swap more than half of its debt for corporate stocks. The remainder will be paid back over 3 years with a 2-year grace period. The bondholders agreed to trade some $570 million of the company's debt for stocks last week as part of efforts to keep the company afloat. Hyundai Merchant's total debt mounted to around $4.4 billion as of March. Korea's overall industrial output fell on month in April for the first time in 3 months. Making matters worse, it dropped at its fastest pace since July of last year. Shin Se-min reports.
Statistics Korea says the nation's industrial output went down 0.8% in April from the month before. The negative trend comes after overall output had been showing signs of a pickup in February and March after plunging 1.4% in January. Production by Korea's mining, manufacturing, gas, and electricity sectors dropped 2.8% in April from the same month last year, with industrial output in those sectors retreating 1.3% on month. Spurting auto production that plunged 8.7% on year, as well as falling output in the electronics parts and display sectors played a big role in the overall fall. Statistics Korea says a jump in production in the semiconductor and petroleum industries worked to offset what would have otherwise been a much bigger decline. But it's not all doom and gloom. Domestic consumption expanded last month, increasing 4.2% on the back of robust sales of durable and non-durable goods like automobiles and cosmetics.
Domestic demand is good at this time, and the improved leading composite index indicates the economy will pick up smooth recovery momentum in the future.
Production in the service sector grew over 2% on year and 0.5% on month, thanks to the steady stream of Chinese tourists vacationing in Korea. 신세민, 아리랑 뉴스.
And that wraps it up. Check out more of the day's domestic and global headlines coming up here on Arirang.